Erland. Right on time. That's his van. With the star attraction by the sounds of it. How long should we give them?
Let them start. 10 minutes.
Right.
Right, George. Give him 10.
Well, he's won 4 fights, one more, he's a grand champion.
Neil!
Tommy!
How much are you betting on him, Dad?
I don't know.
Sorry.
If I miss getting a bet on because Neil's made us late, you'll be paying me back long after your shot of that student loan. Let's go!
Give us a push, could you, lads? All right, never mind, I'll just call the AA. Feel like a day, mate.
All right, cheers. Shift yourself.
Put it in gear. What are you doing up there? Now you idiot! Get down. Appreciate it. Say, right, George, let's go. Come on. All right. George, where's Merlin? No, not there.
Here you go, Neil.
Oh, there's no need, Mr. Merlin.
No, you're all right. It's the sport that counts, but, you know, it's nice to spice it up a bit.
Merlin couldn't have got out.
This was the van that he was in earlier this morning. It had to be him. Gov, what?
Well, boys, they say it's much better to be born lucky than to be born rich.
What are we going to do?
I don't know about you, but I'm going home for a pint. You can always take him in, Jack.
Bring him in tomorrow.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
You brought us luck, Neil. It wasn't for you being late.
Yeah, good on you, mate.
I've lost my grand champion, though.
Oh, can't you get him back?
You ever think my son was a bit of an idiot? Oh, officer, I know nothing about dog fighting. What What are these dogs doing in the van? Oh, I seem to be here with a collar and lead.
What about the police, though?
Well, Inspector Frost will probably make a visit, but he knows nobody's going to finger me. Don't worry about your mum and dad, Neil. Nobody knows where you were. It's all about a pizza, right? Okay, all right.
Give me a call tomorrow.
Yeah.
Night, Neil.
Night. So, who knew?
What?
The place was clean. Who knew?
Dad, Brian knows better than that.
Yeah, well, I hope so, but it's funny that's the first name that comes into your head, too. Think we'll have to have a word with him.
Well, I don't even talk to him now.
And there's a lot of people who trust me are banged up and Dent and Nick right now. I've lost faith. If it's about some snotty-nosed kid, we'll have to teach him a lesson, right?
Yeah, okay.
It's not Sean's fault.
Don't interfere, Sally. It's none of your business.
Wingo, come on! Another one, get out! Jack, £5,670.56, 709 euro. Very cosmopolitan. Perhaps you ought to have a national team, eh? You know, fun for all the family. All right, lock the money up. It's going to be a long night for you. All right, come on, out of the way. Top, top. Dog see the rabbit. Good morning.
So, what's the score, Jack?
Well, I got 23 prosecutions, maybe. Every one of the punters, you know, stumbled on the fight by chance. Nobody's ever been to a dogfight before. Nobody organised it, nobody refereed it, and certainly nobody owns any of the dogs.
Well, my score's a kennel full of healthy dogs that know only one thing, fighting and killing. They can never be trusted with people. Brian, you better go. I don't want the blame if you're late for school.
See you later, Mrs. Moorhead.
All that work, and they'll walk away with £100 fines.
Well, some of them have got forms, so I hope we can do better than that. But we missed Burland. I was hoping for a custodial sentence by now, but that's gone. I'm sorry.
Me too. Or maybe I shouldn't be. I have to wait a long time for resources like that from the police, Jack. If you ever wanted Vernon for other reasons.
Well, I can't get him for money laundering. I can't get him for drugs. Keeps his nose clean in Denton. He's like a disease. He's infectious.
Well, if you can't find any other way to get him, Burland will organise more fights. People like him really believe that animals tearing each other to pieces is like going to a premiership match, only better. So, our interests coincide. Graham, Helen, you better put these dogs down now.
You don't think the police are going to want to talk to us, do you?
Neil, my dad can handle the police.
Mum and Dad will go berserk.
So what? There he is. Had to be him.
What do you mean?
He came to a dog fight with us 2 months ago. Same place, he walked out. Now he's a volunteer down at the RSPCA, and there was an RSPCA woman there yesterday.
Come on, Brian's a pillock, but he's not going to risk saying anything.
Look, my dad said someone did. Who else? You're in this transit van, LX54NFD?
Ownership's not disputed.
Well, it was used to transport dogs to a dog fight yesterday afternoon.
Inspector, you know perfectly well my client owns a van and car hire business.
Yes, well, I would like all the paperwork regarding the hire of this van that you were seen driving yesterday morning, Mr. Burland. And you've been found guilty on 2 previous occasions of crimes regarding dog fighting. And this van was used to transport dogs to a dog fight that you claim you knew nothing about. And yet you arrived on the location just after the first fight had started. And why were you there then, Mr. Burland?
My client was trying to circumvent the football traffic. Shortcut. On his way to buy some pizzas.
Must have been a glitch in the sat-nav, right? Quattro Stagioni's my favorite. What's yours?
What's all this then, George?
Morning, Jack. A mugging down in the underpass last night. Very nasty. The woman's going to be all right, but she's in hospital.
Right.
He could have killed her. We got some tyre tracks, a mountain bike of some sort. If the bike's local, we might get a break there. We also found the woman's bag just dumped outside there.
Right.
It's with forensic now.
Very good.
But after all that, the cash was still there.
Go on. Nobody local with this sort of form, is it?
Nothing as violent as that, Jack, no.
I don't know why people still use places like this. I mean, they're not safe, are they? I've been here before.
Yeah, too many times.
No, I don't mean like that. I mean exactly this place. It's a long time ago. A woman got mugged, and she was badly hurt.
Mate, he's not going to admit it.
Yeah, so what? He needs a smoking. How's it going, Brian?
What's your problem, Sean?
You, broken up any dog fights lately? So, when you get fed up with football, you get a few mates around, a crate of beer, and you watch a dog fight. There'll be another day.
I don't like Burland living on our patch either. We know he's heavily involved in drugs, but there's no evidence he's up to anything in Denton or the county. There's a limit to how much time we can devote to him.
Well, he's trouble. And sooner or later, he's going to be our trouble. The Met have got him down for 3 murders. He may not have pulled the trigger, but he signed the checks.
He has an irritating and clever solicitor. Mr. Salmon has submitted a file of harassment complaints. More won't help.
Hey, mate. What have you been doing?
Homework.
You're weird, mate. Anybody would think you like doing it?
I do. That's how weird I am.
All right, boys.
Hi, Dad.
See ya.
Bye, darling.
See you later.
So I followed Brian after school. Now he's weird. He's at the RSPCA. So? Oh, thought we were going to see him.
You still here?
I'm off in a minute.
Oh, I won't be that long, Brian. I can give you a lift home.
It's okay, Mrs. Moorhead. I'm heading to the library anyway.
You know, most vets would be struggling with this after a couple of years at college. I'd be struggling now.
It's good to know a bit about what the vets are doing.
Well, I got a few muggings or attempted muggings in that area over the last 2 years. Nothing violent, not in the underpass, nothing using a bicycle. No, it was a lot longer than 2 years. I mean, I'm not trying to find a connection. It's just nagging me, you know. It's the same crime in the same place, and a bike, and a handbag we found with money still in it.
When you say a long time,
Yeah, it must be, what, I don't know, 20 years or more.
there's a long time between muggings.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's just annoying me that my brain isn't working as it used to. Whereas yours is still like a well-oiled machine. But if you can't remember, well, what?
You know, can't is not a word in Mr. Trigg's vocabulary, Inspector.
No, but the thing is, Jennifer, if you want to get the best service out of him, you have to wind him up.
You get an even better one if you gave me more information than muggings and 20 years.
Well, now we've got Jenny here. She is going to download the entire contents of your brain cell onto a floppy disk. And then we can access anything at any time at all.
Computerization is just a tool, Jack. That's all. Only works if the right person's using it.
And that means not me?
No, I didn't say that. Did I say that?
All right. Let's see who comes up with it first.
No, it's not a game.
I'm up to 1992.
You've got enough to do, Jenny. If Inspector Frost wants this information because he can't remember it himself, I will endeavour to find it for him.
All right, come on, off you go. Chop, chop. How's the RSPCA car, Brian? Had a good old chat with her.
You're nuts.
My dad's not pleased.
Good. That's made my day.
Little shit. You should have done it.
I haven't got the guts. But whoever did, I'd shake his hand.
Hit him!
thought I was stopping a fight, that's all. I've got 2 children. Not much younger than Brian. Same school. I offered him a lift. Why didn't he take it? He just wanted to go to the library. That's all.
Did you know either of the boys who attacked him?
No, I don't think so.
Would you recognise them?
Yes.
When did it happen?
A couple of hours ago. It's hard to get the story out of him. He was upstairs when I got in.
Was he in a fight?
It's not about a fight. Listen to me, Jerry. It's on the radio. A boy was stabbed and he's dead.
I wanted to teach him a lesson. If he'd just taken it.
I know, it got out of hand. That's what happens when you have a knife. I mean, what were you thinking of?
But he pissed on us, Dad, didn't he?
I won't let you go down for this, son, all right?
No. No, we've got to deal with this properly.
Oh my God, the police are going to come.
Yes, well, maybe they will and maybe they won't. But if they do, you weren't there, Sean, right?
You can't say that.
Shut up, Sally.
He didn't mean to do it. We've got to tell the truth. I think we should call the police.
Look, Sally, some little shit is dead and he shouldn't be, right? What matters now is that our son walks away from this without ruining his life. He wasn't there. That's what he says. That's what Neil says.
It's a mistake. A mistake for Sean.
It's what friends are for, son, yeah? And you'll find there's no shortage of people willing to swear that you were somewhere else.
The new Toyota Avensis. Sponsors ITV Mystery Drama.
George, what do you got?
Kitchen knife. I get one of these pretty well anywhere.
Any fingerprints?
Well, first glance from forensics says it's clean. But I hope to do better down the lab, prints or DNA.
Any more witnesses?
Yeah, sighting of 2 youths seen running across the bypass. But that was about 10 minutes after Mrs. Moorhead got here. It's all very vague, Jack.
What about the camera outside the RSPCA building?
Yeah, pointing the wrong way.
Right. But why? Why? Who were they?
It could have been a random attack, or they could have been waiting for him.
Well, Christine says that she would recognise them. Also, they were familiar to her. Now, if that's the case, it means that Brian Shanklin probably knew his attackers.
I didn't know Sean had a knife.
Have you said anything to your mum and dad yet, Neil?
No, they're not back.
Okay, here's what you do. You go upstairs, you get out of those clothes, you give them to me, and then you get in the bath and you wash yourself. You wash yourself to within an inch of your life, do you understand? You and Sean are at my garage cleaning cars. That's the story, and I've got witnesses to corroborate it.
Why did he have to take a knife?
I don't know. But neither you nor Sean are going down for this. Clothes, bath. Neil, get on with it.
What about the woman?
What woman?
The RSPCA inspector. She saw us.
I've just been to see Brian Shanklin's parents. Oh, yeah? Seems like a boy who's never in any trouble. There's no hint of gangs or drugs or violence.
Yeah, well, parents don't know everything, sir. I reckon those boys were waiting for him.
It frightens me, Jack.
Hmm?
I won't pretend it doesn't. Times like this, you're fortunate you don't have any children or grandchildren.
Oh. Well, there's always an upside to every downside, isn't there? So they say.
If I carry on. We've got it!
Well, don't give it to me.
No, the underpass. You see, it was 1989.
Just a minute. First things first. Who got there first, Jenny or Trig?
Well, I'd been working on that year a couple of weeks ago, so it was already scanned in. There wasn't much in it, wasn't there, Mr. Tree?
A woman was attacked in the same underpass on the 21st of May, 1989. A handbag was taken, recovered with the money still in it. We assumed the attacker just dropped it. He used a bike as well. Very similar.
Oh, yeah. I remember. We thought it was a mugging, but we got it wrong. Well, I got it wrong. The motive wasn't theft. It was a violent attack on a woman. And his name was...
Joseph David Formby.
Yes, because we pulled him in for another attack 2 years later.
1992.
Yes, so the woman was lucky to be alive, but not before he'd attacked and killed another woman in Croydon, is that right?
Yes, but we got him in the end.
You got him in the end, that's no consolation to a dead woman. Anyway, what happened to Formby?
Died in Wormwood Scrubs 4 years ago.
A coincidence.
A coincidence. Coincidences make me uncomfortable. But not as uncomfortable as remembering a mistake that cost a woman her life. Anyway, thanks. So that's Jennifer 1, Trig 0. That's a very close result.
Sweetheart? Something's happened.
This is quite difficult, Neil. It's about Brian Shanklin.
Yeah, I know. He's dead.
Why did you say anything?
Not much to say, is there?
Somebody stabbed him, Neil.
Yeah, I know.
Well, school is closed for lessons tomorrow. But there's counsellors if you want to go. I don't know if you want to be with your friends or just stay here.
There's no point talking about it, is there?
You might need to. People deal with grief in different ways.
Well, I don't have much to do with them these days, so I'll just stay at home.
What about your dinner?
Is that shock or just so what?
Is Sean going in? Why don't you give him a text? I've been talking to Dad, and we both think that there's something to be said for being with your friends.
Sean can do what he likes.
Well, if you want to talk, Sean won't get much sleep.
What do you want?
You all right? Say something, Neil.
How about, don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is going to be all right. Your dad was probably into Bob Marley.
Look, if I could go back and make it not happen, I'd do anything.
If I could change anything, I'd like to arrange for you to be dead instead of Brian. If only.
Jay, can we please talk?
No.
We can't just lie our way out of this. It's more important than that.
Not another word.
Jack. George, listen, I don't want the attack in the underpass to be forgotten about in the middle of all of this, all
The
right?
uniforms are still on it.
Yeah, okay.
I think I've got something. A friend of Brian's, Paul Timms. You need to speak to him.
All right.
Have you got your black trousers? They're not in the dirty washing. Neil, it's not a big deal. I'm just trying to do your washing. Neil!
They're around. How do I know where? Maybe trousers aren't the only thing I've got in my mind.
You clock that smell? Exactly the same smell as my old school. I don't know what it is, George, but when we were at school, we managed without our mates getting knifed.
Sean, I don't think your dad is right. But I can't make him listen on my own.
He said someone threatened him.
I don't know if it was a threat exactly. Brian had fallen out with two of his mates. He never said why, really. Then, suddenly, they got quite nasty with him.
And this was yesterday.
I saw them having a go at him when we were playing cricket. Just verbal, nothing much. Nothing heavy. But I know he was worried. He said it was to do with dog fighting.
Dog fighting? Is that a normal topic of conversation at this school?
No. I didn't know what he was on about. It just sounded weird to me.
What are the names of these two mates? I need to know their names, Paul. Who were they?
Neil Viner and Sean Burland.
All right, thank you very much, Paul. You may go now.
That is who I think it is.
Yes. Jerry Burland's son.
I'm taking him to Denton Police Station to help with inquiries into the death of Brian Shanklin.
Well, how can we help you? He doesn't know anything about it. He can't.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Viner.
Don't worry, Sean. We'll be there as soon as I get hold of Dad. Get off the bloody phone, Jerry, and answer me. They've taken Sean away. What's happening? They're talking about Brian Shanklin as if Neil's got something to do with it. When Jerry gets my message, he'll have him home. It's a mistake. A terrible... It's a mistake. Yes. Yes, it is. Come on.
When did Brian come and work for you as a volunteer?
2 months ago, nearly 3. He turned up in reception one day to ask if he could help, just cleaning out kennels, whatever. I should speak to his parents. I can't imagine how they... No, I can. That's what makes it so unbearable.
It would be better if you didn't talk to anyone. I mean, now there's a witness. It's best you don't get emotionally involved.
I am emotionally involved. I was there.
Christine, if you're going to identify these killers, it's going to be a long and difficult journey. And what matters most is your objectivity in court.
I don't feel very objective.
No. No. Neither do I. Thank you. All right, George. This is mine.
Sergeant.
I want you to look at the glass. And soon, in a minute, you'll see a group of young men. Now, if you recognise any of them, please point them out. But I don't want you to feel that you're under pressure to identify them. If you're unsure, just say so. And if none of the people resemble those that you saw, that's also fine. Okay? All right, lights. You recognise one of them?
Two. They're both there.
How sure are you that the two lads you recognise are the ones that attacked Brian?
On a scale of 1 to 10. 10.
Thank you. All right, George.
From the moment we spoke to Neil about Brian, there's been something wrong. I don't know how he was supposed to react, but the way he did wasn't right. It's not just a mistake, is it?
If my husband says it's a mistake, it is. Haven't you got that yet?
What are you talking about?
The truth, as decided by Jerry.
They were there. Neil and Sean. What happened?
It doesn't matter what happened. I've lived in Jerry's world for a long time. Now we're all in it, Carolyn. And we do what he says. Yes, that's everything. That's what happened. That's what I saw.
Right, thank you. Have you seen either of these lads before? I mean, before you saw them attacking Brian Shanklin, I mean.
They do seem familiar. I could have seen them. I don't know them, if that's what you mean.
Well, it's just they both went to Brian's school, which is the same school your children go to.
I know what you're suggesting, but I'm not confused about maybe seeing them at the school. Those were the boys who killed Brian Shanklin.
All right. Good, thank you. Well, you'll have to know eventually, so you might as well know now. The first youth that you identified was Sean Burland, Jerry Burland's son.
So, what are you saying?
Well, I'm partly guessing, of course, but from what I learned from the school, it seems that Brian went to a dogfight with Sean and the other lads some months ago when they were all friends. But Brian was so disgusted by what he saw that he ended the friendship.
And came to me to volunteer.
Mm-hmm. Now, it seems that either Sean or his father thought that Brian was the one who tipped us off.
No, surely not. What have I done?
No, it's not what you've done. You didn't know any of this at all.
I'm part of it. My actions. We did the right thing, but you're telling me because of that, Brian is dead.
No, look, you can't think like that.
It's under control, Tom.
What?
My solicitor's in there. He knows what he's doing. He can handle it.
Neil didn't have anything to do with what happened to that boy. He doesn't need a solicitor.
It won't cost you, Tom.
What do you mean, cost me?
Look, it's all sorted, all right? In the meantime, just do what any good solicitor will tell you and just say nothing. Just go home, Tom. I'll call around and see you and Carolyn later. You have my client's statement. It records everything he did yesterday afternoon in detail. Tells you exactly where he was. It also gives you the names of people who saw him and can vouch for him.
They all knew his father, Jerry Burland, right?
Well, since he was cleaning vans with his father's carriage, that really shouldn't come as a surprise, Inspector.
Half the people in this statement have got criminal records as long as your arm.
Mr. Burland is a man who believes in giving people a second chance. Anything wrong with that?
There's a lot wrong with this statement. The speed it was produced, for a start.
Well, I can say the same about the speed in which you put my clients in front of an identity parade. I will be saying it too.
I don't believe any of that. And you know why? Because I have a witness who saw you and Neil at the same place where Brian Shanklin was stabbed. Because that's where you were, Sean. Weren't you? Got anything to say?
Mr. Viner is shaking his head.
What about the argument you and Sean had with Brian at school?
I didn't have any argument.
Did you speak to Brian Shanklin?
Why would I? He wasn't a mate.
Did you hear Sean threaten him?
No.
Have you been to a dogfight?
Inspector, we've already established where both my clients were yesterday. If you need clarification, they will assist. If you're proposing a fishing expedition, I'll advise them to only answer questions that directly relate to the reason you brought them here.
What I propose, Mr. Salmon, is an investigation into the murder of Brian Shanklin, in which your two clients were at the scene of the crime. Now, I need answers to all the questions I ask, no matter how long it takes.
Lovely day, Mrs. Moorhead. Mine's not been great. But then you'd know all about that, wouldn't you?
What do you want, Mr. Burland?
Well, we've got a lot more than animals on our minds, haven't we?
Why did it happen?
Why did what happen?
You know Brian Shanklin is dead. I don't think you'd be here unless you knew something about who killed him.
I know absolutely nothing about Brian Shanklin. All I know is it's got nothing to do with my son.
You think I'm happy about what this could mean for your son and his friend? I'm not, Mr. Burland.
Save it for your cats and your canaries.
This isn't something we can argue about.
Look, Neil and Sean are innocent.
You shouldn't be here.
What good does it do you banging up my son? Unless it's for revenge on me.
What do you think I am?
I've always admired the way animals fight to protect their young. Whatever it takes.
Frost. Christine. What? When? No, you stay there. I'm coming over. No, it's all right, no, I'm on my way. just wait. It's your money, not if I can help it.
Good evening, sir.
Ah, is Jerry still here?
Who shall I say?
Never mind, I'll find him myself.
You can't just barge in, sir.
Can't I? You just watch me.
Inspector Frost. Always a pleasure, mia casa su casa.
I am so sorry, Mr. Burland.
It's all right, Ellen. Just fix it.
Now, either your solicitor is not earning enough, Mr. Burland, or you don't listen to what he says.
You know what I love about you? I never understand a word you say.
If you so much as say hello to Christine Moorhead, or even look at her, I will arrest you.
Sorry, that was stupid, but as a parent, you can admit, of course, you're not. Right, but I just wanted to speak to her parent to parent, you know what I'm saying? Intimidation was never in my mind. She made a mistake.
I'm interested to know why you should think that Mrs. Moorhead is a witness.
It's not a secret, is it?
If she was a witness, the only people who would know that would have been at the scene of the crime.
He told me I'd be attacked in a court. He didn't tell me I'd be threatened. Oh, bullies don't impress me much, but on top of everything.
Well, he won't go near you again.
Are there any other witnesses?
No.
I wish it wasn't just me. For all sorts of reasons. Still,
Look, we'll keep a close eye on you. We'll have patrol cars going past your house, beat officers as well. Burland will know that. Oh, and there'll be me too. That'll put him off.
thanks, Jack.
All right. Have you eaten?
No?
Do you fancy an Indian?
Yeah, sure.
Good.
Good man, Marek. That difficulty with the RSPCA woman I told you about, it's just not working out. She's not getting the message. Okay. We may have to lean on her a bit harder, okay?
It's not a problem.
Good man.
He's arranged a solicitor for Neil, can you believe that? Not a word to me. I can't talk to my son, yet Jerry Burland has got his solicitor in there with him.
Perhaps it's best.
Why? I don't believe this has anything to do with Neil.
I can't find Neil's clothes. I know what he was wearing when he went out yesterday. I know what trousers he had on. They are not in the house. I know what shirt. I have looked everywhere.
You want to talk about washing?
I am talking about the fact that every piece of clothing our son was wearing yesterday afternoon has disappeared.
You don't need to ask me why I do it, Jack. You know why already.
Do I?
Fluffy bunnies. I work for the RSPCA because I'm a woman who simply adores fluffy bunnies.
No, sorry, don't do sarcasm.
I don't confuse animals with people. Animals fight and kill to survive. They're not vicious or perverted or cruel for fun or because they're too lazy to care.
So they need protection.
Well, aren't you out there? Because if you weren't, people would be even more unpleasant than they are.
Yeah, well, there is that. Also, to give people directions when they get lost.
Yeah, once upon a time. Yeah, we know that how we treat animals is part of how we treat each other. Truth or dare?
What do you mean?
Why are you a policeman? And don't tell me it's because you couldn't think of anything else to do.
No, it was because of the uniform. But I looked so scruffy in it, they put me in CID.
Why?
I don't know why. It's just ever since I was about 14, it was something I wanted. I had no theories why it mattered. I just believed that it did.
And did it?
Well, on a good day. I seem to have spent most of my life with the worst things that people do to each other. I shouldn't be surprised by it, but I still am.
Exactly. Well, that means it still matters.
Yeah. Well, it's just part of the job, that's all. But it is something to do with truth. You know, when bad things happen to people, that's the least that they deserve. Sometimes that's all there is. No, you're laughing at me.
No, but just when you said that, you looked, I don't know, younger.
Now you are laughing at me. Anyway, look, it's, you know, it's getting late, isn't it? I think I'll get the bill.
I didn't realise the time. Why don't I get this?
No, excuse me.
Well, next time I pay. Just get my coat.
The boys attacked Brian Shanklin because of you. You and dogfighting.
Oh, come on, Tom. You stopped wiping Neil's arse a long time ago. He's a clever lad. It's his business what he does.
You made Neil lie to the police. And you come here to tell us that after your son knifes another boy, Neil has to keep lying to the police? We all do?
That's exactly right. If Sean was carrying a knife, then Neil was the boy who pushed Brian Shanklin onto it. That's what happened.
Well, I'm not taking it. Neil has to tell the truth. There's no choice.
Damn it, good-looking lad like Neil going into prison. What about his place in Oxford? That's gone, isn't it? You understand what I'm saying, don't you?
Oh, I get the threat.
Good. Because you need to.
Just the man I want to see. Can I give you these, sir?
What do I want with these?
These are taxi receipts, sir. Yeah, apparently somebody decided to stick a knife in a couple of my tyres last night, not to mention the brick through the kitchen window.
Well, that's terrible, Jack. Do you know who? Have you caught anyone?
No. No, a neighbour of mine saw someone running down the back alley behind his house, but couldn't get a description. Anyway, uniform are on the case. Obviously, somebody that I upset some time ago. You know, there's a long list.
Well, you seem to be taking it very nonchalantly, Jack. If there's anything I can do to help.
Well, yes, there is, actually, sir. You could pay these taxi receipts. Thanks very much, sir.
Jack,
Sir,
I assume none of these taxis are of a personal nature?
nothing I ever do is of a personal nature, sir. Oh, by the way, I'll let you have the bill for the kitchen window and the 4 new tyres later.
Are you sure you want to go to school today? I mean, there's no pressure on you. It's fine if you do, but if you just wanted to stay at home...
I don't know. I think we'd both like to see our friends for a bit.
Yeah, but I don't want to get into all the counselling stuff, though.
Well, see how it goes today. You can always finish this afternoon. Go to your dad's a day early. Have you spoken to him about Brian?
He'd already heard something on the news. He didn't believe it could be our school. Well, nobody can.
No. Well, I'll phone him. I'm sure he'll be able to get over and pick you up.
Are you going to be all right?
Oh, yeah, I'll be fine. I've still got to talk to the police again. Best thing if I go into work, really. Not give myself time to think. I'll be fine, guys, really.
Sure you will.
What's that supposed to mean?
Mysterious Inspector Frost.
What's mysterious about Jack?
Nothing.
parents are here.
Do I have to?
You don't have to, no.
Morning.
Inspector Frost,
Hmm?
have you seen Mr. Trigg yet?
No. And unless he's matched Jerry Burland up with a dozen armed robberies, you can tell him he's missed me, or he will have done it about half an hour.
Well, it's about what happened at your house. Tell me about it.
Why, does he know some cheap glaziers, or what?
Well, he's concerned. He remembered something very similar happening before.
All right. Come on. Who's that?
Mr. Trigg.
All right, I'll drink it on the way. Thank you.
Oh,
16 years ago, there was a spate of attacks on our cars. I know because I was a serving officer at the time. I had my tyres shredded and a key run along both sides. I was only 6 months old and all.
Yeah, I remember. Mine was done at the same time.
I had a brick through your kitchen window. Jenny, give me the cards. So, I put her onto this first thing. Half an hour and she had the lot.
you did give me the dates.
Oh, yeah, I suppose I
You
did.
did, remember? I was there.
Oi, you two. I know we've got two people of exceptional talent in this office, but what is the relationship between punctured tyres and kitchen windows 16 years ago?
Because it's like the underpass. A crime that happened a long time ago. A crime that was never solved. Well, not for a long time. A crime that has happened exactly the same way now as it did then.
Yeah, well, a lot of coppers had their tyres done back then.
But only one had a brick through their kitchen window. That was you, Jack. You never liked too many coincidences. I think we got too many here.
You'll be home soon.
But for how long?
It'll be over. I promise.
She saw them, Jerry.
I don't think she's as sure as all that. I think she'd come to that conclusion herself.
Jack, it's me. Everything's fine, but not really. If you want that meal, come round. I know you're busy. I'm supposed to be, but... Anyway, give me a ring when you get this message. Inspector Frost?
Yes?
What's going to happen?
You've seen him?
Yes.
He will be charged.
Then will he come home?
I don't know. It's up to the court to decide whether they'll grant bail or not.
Are you going to oppose bail?
I don't know whether you think that lying is the best way to deal with this, or you're too stupid to realise that you'll make matters worse. Because you will.
I just couldn't believe it. And the kids told me last night. They must be in a state of shock.
We all are. They've been into school today, but I think getting away is going to be best. So if you could take them out a bit.
Why didn't I think of that?
All right, you know what I mean.
You were right.
Not exactly.
That was a stupid question, wasn't it? Sorry. I haven't got my head around this. Have I got this right? You knew the boys who did this?
No, I didn't know them, but I recognised them in the lineup.
You... Oh. Well, I bet that wasn't easy.
It wasn't.
Hi, guys.
You had a good time. Yeah, don't you worry about me.
You sure, Mum?
I'll be fine. Talk to you later. Bye.
Seatbelts!
That's very good timing, Jack.
Oh, was that Sophie and
Joshua.
Joshua?
And the father. Oh, well, it'll give them something all to talk about.
I don't know what you're so worried about, Sophie. Doesn't look like she's going to be on her own.
I think that was Inspector Frost.
That's what I meant.
What's this all about?
Well, he's not just a policeman. Mum's always going on about him.
Oh, gossip! Right, Sophie. You will tell all.
The kids were due to go to Alan on Friday anyway. Didn't see much point sending them into school. Not with what's going on.
How old are they?
Josh is just 16. Sophie's 14. They didn't really know Brian, but you just don't know how something like this is affecting them.
Where does he live? Your ex, I mean.
Sorry, just round the M25. Grim, isn't it? The ex. It's not where any of us think we'll end up. But it's been a long time. Over 10 years. It's okay. Eventually ran out of things to argue about.
And the kids? Oh, sorry. For a man who spends his life asking questions, I choose the wrong ones sometimes.
Yeah. And they're fine most of the time. You come to terms with the fact that the life you're asking them to live isn't the one they want. Excuse me.
Oh, sorry.
I don't like what we did to them. I've forgiven Alan most things, but not such a bad question after all. Right. Hope you like salad.
Oh, yeah, fine. It's nice. Great, yeah.
So what don't you eat?
Well, anything that's green or does you good, basically.
Especially salad.
Yeah, well, I've never found a takeaway that does a good salad.
So what happened to your car?
Somebody thought that I didn't need tyres. Drunks, probably. Anyway, they got away pretty quick. Now I'm like everybody else. You know. Some things are not as high on the police's list of priorities as you'd like.
That's not exactly reassuring.
But some things are. You are. My mum and dad died a very long time ago now. They were Denton born and bred. Well, a bit like me. I think the furthest they ever went in their life was a day trip to Bournemouth.
You never wanted to leave?
No, well, I don't know, sometimes. I always used to think that no matter how far you go, you always meet the same people there.
Yeah, my mum died a long time ago, too. She was living with us when Alan and I got married. She was in the early stages of Alzheimer's. It wasn't bad then, but when we knew Josh was on the way, we put her in a home. But I look back sometimes and wonder if Josh was more an excuse than a reason.
I don't believe that.
I've got nothing but admiration for people who deal with things like that.
Well, if you have to do it, you do. My wife died at home.
You looked after her?
I wasn't the real thing.
That's a terrible thing to say.
No. Things started to go wrong before she became ill. I was going to leave. The only reason I didn't is because she was dying.
You stayed? You didn't have to.
Anyway, look, that was a great meal. But I must go because I'm on duty.
Yeah, me too.
Right. I've got a patrol car keeping an eye on the house and on the clinic. And you've got my telephone number should you need me. Right.
Right.
So, well, thank you once again.
Okay.
Well, we just seem to be getting into deep water. I don't know why.
Don't you?
Oh, right. Yeah, well, thanks. Right.
Now, we need a charge on the Brian Shanklin murder. I'm going to have to let those boys go if there isn't one.
All right, I'll charge them tomorrow.
Mrs. Moorhead is obviously a reliable witness, but the alibis are extensive. Any chance of a confession?
No, I'm afraid not. But when we get into court, I'm not so sure that Sean Burland will stand up to cross-examination. He's very shaky. But the other one, of course, he's as cool as a cucumber.
Someone must have said something.
Yeah, but the thing is, Burland has put the word about that if anyone says anything, they'll regret it. So there's nothing. I don't think that Neil's parents want to go along with it at all. They know the truth, but they're frightened of Burland.
He sailed very close to the wind, showing us he knows that Mrs. Moorhead is our only witness. But listening to rumours isn't a crime. That's all he'll admit to. We just can't get near him. Under different circumstances, I'd let Mrs. Moorhead think about giving her evidence anonymously. Too late now.
Yeah, well, she's going to need extra protection.
Burland hasn't been idle. Neither has his solicitor. Mr. Salmon has a complaint with the Chief Constable. You and Mrs. Moorhead.
Saying what?
It paints you as an officer with an obsessive grudge, and her as an animal rights lunatic who cares more about animals than people.
Ah, but no judge is going to listen to that, is he?
Take a jury that doesn't want to believe that two boys, like their sons and grandsons, killed another boy, like their sons and grandsons. Witnesses swear the boys were cleaning vans. Tearful parents swear their boys are little angels. Confuse the truth with an alleged grudge. What have you got? Recipe for a jury that can't make up its mind.
All right, go on, take him away. with you lot?
Moggy!
Come on, just get on with it.
Yes, here we are. Philip Richard Heaton, 42. Several injuries to the face and head consistent with blows from a blunt instrument. Paint flecks suggest tie lever or crowbar, fairly new, and skull fractured in 2 places there and underneath. Death resulted from hemorrhaging of blood and cerebral edema.
Any evidence of the attacker, like blood or tissue?
There was blood under the fingernails, but not the victim's. So, all you have to do is find out who it belongs to. Oh, and there was hair on the clothing. Human and otherwise.
Otherwise? What do you mean by otherwise?
Felis sylvestris catus.
What's that mean when it's in
A cat.
Don't go berserk, we're just making a point. Give it an hour, it'll be empty by then.
Hello, Jack. No, I'm still here. Yeah, just about to finish and go home. You too. See you soon.
So there's nothing missing from upstairs?
Doesn't look like it, does it? No, just the TV and the hi-fi from down here. First glance, kids, I reckon.
Or was there any money in the house?
Just a few quid in the kitchen drawer. What time did you say the CID boys were going to get here?
I don't think they're going to be able to get out tonight, sir.
Oh, really? Well, you can tell them to get off their arses and get down here, or my solicitor will be waking up Superintendent Mullet first thing tomorrow morning. And the next time I see him on a golf course, I might mention you as well.
Sir?
See you tomorrow.
Ah, Georgie. I didn't know you worked without the organ grinder winding a handle. Come on in here.
Frost.
Jack, there's a report of a fire at the RSPCA Centre.
I'm on my way there now.
A Touch of Frost Series 15 will be available on DVD from Monday the 12th of April. And make sure you join us tomorrow at 9 here on ITV1 when a television era comes to a close. Just how will the detective make his exit? Here's the second part of the final ever A Touch of Frost.